Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all give me here. I am truly grateful. Thank you all so much. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this Karen who is actually being cancelled because she deserves it. Saying that why should reparations be paid to Black people when they are not even the people that experience slavery? And let's assume that the people that experienced slavery were alive, that it would have been okay paying them the money, but they are no longer alive, and there is no need saying that they should pay reparations to Black people. And that she went further to say that Black people asking for reparation is rooted in ego and separation, and Black people do not need reparations, and that Black people have lack mentality. That's why they are asking for reparations. I mean, she went further to say so many things that did not go so much well with Black people. And as I speak to you, her videos are already taken down. The videos are no longer there, but Black people were able to stitch to the video to call her out on her bullshit before she deleted it. So you are definitely going to understand this video, and I am just going to roll this video, and we'll come back to talk about it. And I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and straight up I am rolling the clip.
In the case for reparations, Ta-Nehisi Coates observes that West Germany paid $62 billion.
The difference in the Holocaust and Japanese is that those victims were alive. Okay, calling for reparations for the descendants of slaves, I don't agree with that. If the slaves were still alive today, embodied, incarnated, in the meat suit, I would say pay them for their labor that they did for free. I understand that segregation is a thing. It's not even was. It's still alive and well today. I understand about the Jim Crow law. I am well aware of what it feels like to be oppressed. You don't need an apology to create generational wealth. You don't need reparations to create generational wealth. That is a lack mindset, which is what I said in the original video. This isn't a personal perspective. This is a heart-centered perspective. Your entitlement to reparations is rooted in ego, which is actually rooted in separation. We don't need reparations. We need to heal. Black, white, Native American, we need to heal. Do I think that the government should invest in healing centers all across the nation? Yeah, I do. Because my perspective is not fuck Black people. My perspective is it's not going to do a damn bit of good. There is no amount of money that is going to grant you generational wealth if you don't heal your lack mindset. Hard truth. If you do not believe you can do it, if you do not believe you can obtain it, having it handed to you, you won't be able to keep it. It's literally laws of the universe. I understand how triggering this is. I see your perspective. And deconstructing and healing will shift your perspective. So pin it. Maybe today it doesn't make sense. Maybe today it's not your cup of tea. But pin it. Because at some point when you deconstruct all of your hate and your resentment and your anger and your pain and your lack, you'll come to this conclusion. I love you. You do recover. Hang in there.
Kayla, is this you? First things first, shut the entire hell up. Nobody forwarded you a bill for reparations because you don't understand what reparations are. I will be explaining that to you in this video. And also, no one sent you an invitation to the conversation. Jesse, please.
If you have no interest in equal rights for Black people, then do not make suggestions to those who do. Sit down.
Thank you, Jesse, because I was just about to cuss her out. But it's interesting that you talk about how the difference in the Holocaust and Japanese internment was that when those reparations came due, that those people were still alive. See, most of you all don't have a clue what reparations is. But before I get to that, let's look at a timeline. And I'm going to be liberal with you, and I'm going to start in 1619 for American chattel slavery associated with the transatlantic slave trade, a form of slavery that had never been experienced in the world on that level or to that magnitude until Europeans started to enslave Africans. Moving right along. Now, just for shits and giggles, let's pretend like chattel slavery ended in this country on December 9th, 1865 with the ratification of the 13th Amendment, not June 19th, 1865, but I digress on that. That would still be 246 years of chattel slavery, and then we're going to go into another 100 years of segregation and Jim Crow. Now, by virtue of you mentioning it in your video, I understand that you have no understanding of what Jim Crow was or when it ended. Now, Jim Crow was a series of state and local segregational laws. See, Kayla, I would ask you to name me a Jim Crow law, but I understand that would be a fool's errand. See, Jim Crow was a series of local and state statutes that legalized racial segregation. And like I said, it ended in about 1968, a year after I was born. And that's what they say it ended. But we understand that in Mississippi, Jim Crow has never ended. Moving right along. See, Kayla, if we just threw away 246 years of chattel slavery and half of the segregation after the Civil War, you do understand that a lot of those people are still alive today. Those people that marched and fought for civil rights during that time, right? So you on board with reparations for them, right? Yeah, you're just stupid. But let me continue and teach you and some others what reparations are and what they are not. Now, reparations in this context means to make amends for social injustices and war. And black people and the indigenous population of this country qualifies in both categories. Now, first, let's start with restitution. Restitution is a part of reparations, and it is defined as the measure to restore the victim's original situation before the gross violation of international human rights law and serious violations of international humanitarian law occurred. That would cover it. Now, examples of restitution would include restoration of liberty, enjoyment of human rights, identity, family life, and citizenship, a return to the place of one's residence, restoration of employment, and return of property. Yeah, you all not going to get all that accomplished. Moving right along. Now, here's the part where most of you bigots get caught up. Compensation. Because you don't realize this is actually the easiest part of reparations, because the compensation should provide for any economic accessible damage as appropriate and proportionate to the gravity of the violation and the circumstances of each case. The compensational damages can arise from physical or mental harm, loss of opportunities, all the civil rights era, including employment, education, and social benefits. And you can read the rest for yourself as we skip to the next item on the list. Rehabilitation, which includes medical and psychological care for those groups that are in need of reparations because of the actions of those who need to pay reparations. Yeah, speaks for itself. Fourth, satisfaction. It is a broad range of measures, including verification of the facts and full and public disclosure of the truth, an official declaration or a judicial decision restoring the dignity, the reputation, and the rights of the victims. Satisfaction would include the search for the disappeared, all those who were lynched and never heard from again, all those who were kidnapped in the dead of night from their homes and we still don't know where our family members are, the recovery of the burial remains, and the part you all find even harder, a public apology for the actions that were taken. See, South Africa had truth and reconciliation. The United States has never even thought about the idea. And the fifth part of reparations is probably the hardest, the guarantee of non-repetition, which encompasses broad structural measures of policy nature, such as institutional reforms and institutional assurances that the underlying act could never occur again. See, before some of you all run to the 13th Amendment on that guarantee, understand that the 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America can be repealed. It is not a guarantee. These are some of the things that would ensure a guarantee, and that would include placing the members of the affected party in positions that they can safeguard that ever happening again under these institutional laws. That requires a dismantling of the present system, and that is the only way you're going to get rid of those institutional barriers that ensure oppression and at any time can return to chattel slavery with just a vote of Congress.
You need an apology to create generational wealth. You don't need reparations to create generational wealth. That is a lack mindset, which is what I said in the original video. This isn't a personal perspective. This is a heart-centered perspective. Your entitlement to reparations is rooted in ego, which is actually rooted in separation.
Technically, you're right. We don't need an apology to create generational wealth. We just need you to return what you stole. You think there's $124 trillion in net worth that white families control in this country compared to the $8 trillion that black families control in this country came because you all worked hard? Yeah, you are delusional. And as far as your heartfeltness, take it and shove it up.
Because it doesn't really make any sense to me. Juneteenth, telling white people that they can't celebrate it, that it's like telling atheists you can't celebrate Christmas because you're not a Christian or a pagan, because let's be real, that actually came from pagan. Because at the end of the day, a white person celebrating Juneteenth is celebrating the liberation of black people.
You said you marinated on this, but hearing you speak, it seems like you didn't marinate on it enough. You said it didn't make sense to you, and you don't understand why some black creators are saying that white people don't need to celebrate Juneteenth. No one is saying that you're not allowed to celebrate the fact that black people finally got freedom. It's how y'all decide to celebrate. It's how y'all celebrate it. Because what does you as a white woman going to Walmart and buying Juneteenth flavored ice cream that's owned by a company whose CEO is a white man actually doing for the black community to solve the systemic racism that you acknowledge does exist?
Honestly, slavery did not get abolished, okay? It was expanded. It was expanded, it was rebranded, and anybody who has been surviving their whole fucking life knows what I'm talking about.
You're right. Slavery was not abolished. It was rebranded. But it was rebranded in the form of the prison system, which has direct ties to the over-policing of black and brown communities. I would urge you to do a little research into the private prison systems and the families that own those prisons, and how they transitioned from owning black people under chattel slavery to owning private prisons, and how those prisons became filled with black people. Also do a little research on black codes. Though you may be a slave to capitalism, you have never experienced slavery that our ancestors experienced, nor the legacy that it's left behind for us who are descendants of those enslaved people feel today.
I mean, do we go as far as saying black people can't celebrate Independence Day because they weren't actually free when the treaty got...
A lot of black people do not celebrate the 4th of July for that exact reason, because our people were not free. So what would we be celebrating when we're celebrating the 4th of July? Meaning the day that America gained its independence from Britain, all while still enslaving African people here on this free land. Now, in this video that I'm not going to play any more of, you go on to say that you do not support reparations because you believe that free money will not help close any gaps, which is a very interesting thing to say. Which is weird because just a little bit earlier in the video, you said that a great way to celebrate Juneteenth was to go out and support black-owned businesses. That's a form of reparations. You're giving black people money. You go on to say that black people have a lack mentality and that giving us money is not going to solve systemic racism. We know that, but it's a start. Let me explain how in part 2.
All right, this is all I got from the video, sorry, from the stitches, because as I speak, the videos are no longer up, but people were able to stitch the video and speak on it before her own was deleted. And like I keep saying, I hate seeing people that do not understand the full meaning of reparation, or I mean things that is going on in Black community, and they they dive into it and want to talk about it. First of all, before you talk about something, you must understand what that thing is. Reparation, it means to fix the things they did against Black people. And if you as a white person think there is no need for your people to fix what they did to Black people, just shove that into your throat and swallow it and don't talk about it. Just stay on your own lane. Because she coming out to say that Black people lack reparation is not going to fix everything. Pay the reparation first. At least pay it. Because you can't be crying that it is not necessary and you have not even paid it. Pay it first. Let's see if it's going to fix so many things. I am very sure that so many people won't be in that your America anymore. I mean, you all wake up and just want to gaslight and act all delusional and the rest of it. And she actually made another video saying that I really did not understand fully what that was after she was called out, because people were able to grab her videos and stitch to it, and she deleted all the videos she made, and then came back to even say some stupid things, and then again came back to say I did not understand it very well and all that. You did not understand it, but you got the nerves and the effrontery to come and gaslight yourself and your entire thing, not even Black people. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for all the love and support. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.